Well, here I am recording. My name is Jason Jackson. I am wanting to talk to you about the Supreme Court ruling today. I think I, I'm flabbergasted by so much emotion. I can't even really explain it. I don't really know if anybody could actually understand. I don't know if you can understand what it's like to wake up one day, your whole life, knowing that people looked at you differently and that there were laws on the books that said that you were different. There were laws on the books that said that I was different because of my sexuality. And to know that one of those laws is now not there, and that I can get benefits and treatment as a regular American citizen that I could not ever had in my life before this day, it is mind-blowing. It's mesmerizing. It's I'm reminded of the words of Jill Scott when she said, "I want to feel free for real." That's what anybody wants in this country. That's what anybody wants in this world. And we talk about being a country of freedom, but we like to create boundaries that are completely personal boundaries, ones that don't even need to be there. And for what? For what? What does it accomplish for us? How does it make us a better nation to be in everybody's private business? And I understand that there's the argument, I don't really want to see it, or I don't want it, keep it to yourself. Well, let me explain something. Um, Straight couples, let me tell you, I have to sit there and watch you mow on each other's face anytime you want to in a bar, and even sometimes in a gay bar. I'll see that happen. Really never got that. Why do you need to come to the gay bar to make out? At any rate, it's awesome that I finally get to feel this way. I have my own opinions about this week as far as the Supreme Court. It showed me two things. One, that this was a states' rights week. I don't know if anybody thinks about that. And I'm sure there's lots of people who do. But the Supreme Court said basically that we're going to leave it up to the states. They said, in the case of the South, they said, in the case of the Voting Rights Act, I'm saying it because it's basically for the South, because during the Civil Rights Movement, of course, the South was the biggest perpetrator of voter intimidation, especially to African Americans. Um, but they were saying basically because they believe that there's some amount of racial progress in our country that they don't have to have those laws on the books anymore, and they can trust the states to come up with a law, or the National Congress to come up with a law that would be better suited than having to violate the states' rights in order to get that type of clearance. And in the case of DOMA, they said the states should always be the ones that get to regulate marriage, and there are states within this nation that say that gay people are just as equal as straight people, and so they can get married. Why shouldn't they have federal benefits? It's not our right as a federal government to dictate what the states say. What we've traditionally said was a state's issue. So that was the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is this: you're gonna have to drag the South out kicking and screaming. That's just it. The South traditionally is more conservative. The South traditionally likes to keep things the same and wants to go back. They don't want change. That's just how it's been there. That's why racism persists in the South. That's why we can have somebody say on television that that's just how we spoke, that's just how we were. That's where it was. I'm not saying it wasn't anywhere else in America, but the South was the hotbed for it. And the reason why I say you can't drag the South, you have to drag the South out kicking and screaming, is because I would rather have been a national mandate saying that gay marriage is something that can be done in every single state, because you're not going to be able to get the South to change very quickly. I'm sure you'll remember after slavery, the South saw how things were happening and how African Americans were getting advancement and wealth and status and congressional power. And guess what happened? Jim Crow. Hello. And sure enough, as soon as the Voting Rights Act was repealed by the Supreme Court, what did we hear? Texas, Virginia, North Carolina, and I think Georgia all are now pushing their voter ID laws, which underneath Title IV, or is it, I'm sorry, I'm going to get the title wrong, so I'll just say the Voting Rights Act. Underneath that, those laws would not have been valid. That's why they weren't in place for this last election. But now, they're putting them right back through and submitting them, and they're going to become a part of their state now. And what have those laws traditionally done? They discriminated against people of color disproportionately. All because of the guise of, what was that? Oh yeah, voter fraud, which really doesn't happen? Ah, interesting. They could be using that as an opportunity to reach out to the minorities. They're spending $10 million to reach out to minorities right now. Isn't that funny? They're doing it, yet they want to stop minorities from voting in certain states. Really? I don't know. I'm getting mixed signals here. You want to come talk to us at Morehouse and Howard, but you don't want us to vote. I don't know if I believe you then. I don't know if I can feel you. I don't know if I can. So, I'm very pleased to be a part of this country. I had some experiences in my life recently. I got to travel a lot of places. I saw many places in the world. And I learned the distinct privilege it is to be an American in this world. We have so much greatness and so much power and so much influence. I also learned that we should not let that be taken for granted, and we should never use it against anybody. Because anybody could be in any place at any time. Meaning, you might see that poor man right there, and you might have billions of dollars, but you could end up switching like that. And then where will you be? It's good to know that my country is changing. I'm glad to see that my country is growing, is learning, because we should grow. We should learn. We should evolve. We should evolve. Like God intended us, and like the great Constitution intended us. So, everybody, thank you. Thank you for learning, and thank you for believing, and thank you for understanding. Let's celebrate. Let's have a few drinks. Let's fall in love. and let's be recognized for it.